What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today we're talking the June 5th, 2021 edition of Talking Smack. Good episode this week. It looks like, at least for the last 2 weeks, I don't know if they did this with Raw Talk. I don't think so. I think they did this with Talking Smack last week, where they only had 2 guests. Well, technically 3, both members of the Street Profits. But they only had 2 segments with guests. The first opening bit with Kayla and Paul went a while. The ending bit with Kayla and Paul went a while. And the show is around the same length that it always is. I mean, if you take away the commercials, it's probably closer to 20 minutes as opposed to 25. But it was interesting. I actually like that format more because I feel like when they try to squeeze on as many people as possible, they have on a lot of the same people. Like, for example, I don't think Roman Reigns has ever been on Talking Smack, on this version of Talking Smack. So when you get the same people, it's bound to get old eventually. So I'm honestly kind of glad that they space these people out more and they're giving the guests they have on more time. So, for example, this week they had on the Profits and they had on Kevin Owens. And because there was only 2 segments with guests, they were allowed to go a little bit longer than they probably would have otherwise. I didn't do the math on it exactly, but that's just my, from my perception of it. But this was a good episode. So it kicked off with Kayla Braxton, and they have happy birthday balloons and stuff like that. Heyman did something very uncharacteristic by wishing Kayla a happy birthday. Kayla reveals that her birthday actually isn't until Monday. One of the worst things that she could have said, because Heyman immediately rescinded his happy birthday greeting, and instead asked, and went on this whole rant about it, why would you celebrate your birthday weekend? It's called a birthday for a reason. And I just celebrated the birthday on Wednesday, so I don't have a birthday weekend exactly, although I am doing stuff this weekend for it. Kayla she said she's been celebrating since the 1st, and her birthday's not until Monday, which is the 7th, which I thought was just great. And Heyman getting all annoyed about it was just amazing. And then before they go to commercial, he pops one of her balloons. So they come back with Kevin Owens, who's wearing a Riot Squad t-shirt, which is fantastic. I don't know if it was a newer Riot Squad shirt or if it was one of the older ones with Sarah Logan on it. I could only see Ruby and Liv. Sarah might have been on the bottom half of the shirt that we couldn't see. So it might have been an older Riot Squad shirt. But I thought it was great because obviously Ruby just got released on Wednesday, and I'm sure Kevin Owens wasn't happy about that. Because he's friends with a lot of the people backstage, and he came up with Ruby, in WWE and whatnot, so that's a real shame. But, I thought that was cool that he did that. They never obviously acknowledged it, but the fact that they even wore the shirt was very Kevin Owens-esque, and I appreciated that. So he outright says, after Kayla says, are you frustrated with the fact that Aziz attacked you beforehand and kind of cost you the Intercontinental Championship? Owens has an amazing response. Because almost everyone on the show would be like, I want to get back at Aziz, which he does. He wants to exact revenge on Aziz. And they would be like, fuck him. I'm like, not fuck him, obviously. They wouldn't say that in a WWE promo. But they would blame him, and they would blame, whatever, and they would get all pissed about it and all this other shit. But Owen says, no. You know what? I'm actually not frustrated with Commander Aziz. Because if I said I was frustrated with Aziz, or with what Cruz did and him beating me, or even what Roman Reigns did to me throughout our battles for the Universal Championship earlier this year and late last year, I would be a hypocrite. Because I would have done the exact same thing that all those other guys did a few years ago. And he's 100% correct. I feel like when people go face and heel, they forgot what they were like when they were still a face or when they were a heel. And Owens was a heel for the better part of his WWE run up until a year or 2 ago. So the fact that he wouldn't have forgotten about that isn't all that surprising, because he's mentioned this before, and with the Aleister Black feud, he was like, I'm trying to redeem myself, and he kind of talked to me a little bit about that in our interview last year, which was great, and if you want to listen to it, it's here on the channel from October. I thought that was really cool that he even brought that up, and he says that he has deserved everything that has come his way for the last year because of his past actions. That being said, it didn't really upset him, because at least he knew, despite not winning a championship or losing this match or that match or whatever, he could always go home to his family and sleep at home. He can't do that come July. Come July, they're going back on the road again. And he can't go home to his family every single night. He's going to be seeing them a lot less than he has been in the last year since the start of the pandemic. If he continues to lose, and he's not seeing his family as often, that's when he's going to start having some problems. And he teases going after Sami Zayn. He's going to deal with Sami Zayn. He says, I'm going to deal with Commander Aziz, I'm going to deal with Apollo Crews, and then Heyman, well, just whatever I said to you last time, essentially hinting at that he has unfinished business with Roman Reigns. And I don't really want to see that rivalry rekindled anytime soon or revisited anytime soon. But I'm glad he hasn't forgotten about Roman Reigns, because why would he? It was only a few months ago, and he wants that top championship. So as far as in-character things to say, that was perfect. I thought this Owens interview was awesome. The Profits I thought were also great. They're always usually very all over the place and entertaining and whatnot, but not this week. They were pissed. As they should have been, because Otis attacked them backstage, so why would they be all their usual energetic selves? They are facing Otis and Chad Gable, the Alpha Academy, on next week's SmackDown, and Montez Ford said they're focused going into that match, and Angelo Dawkins added, we're not just focused, we're just straight up pissed off. And they once again question, and they repeat what they said on SmackDown itself, by questioning what exactly has the Alpha Academy accomplished since coming here to SmackDown. In our time on SmackDown, they've done absolutely nothing. They have not held Tag Team Gold. Otis hasn't really done anything. He was Mr. Money in the Bank a year ago, but he wasn't when he was with, he hasn't been since he joined up with Chad Gable. Chad Gable hasn't done anything. And he doesn't understand why Otis would get angry at the truth, because they were merely telling Otis how it was. You haven't really done anything, so why would he get pissed and attack him? He didn't really understand that. And they just kind of end their segment by saying that we want the smoke. And I loved how straightforward and serious they were. We don't really see that often from the Profits, so I thought that was appreciated, and it was very well done. And to end the show here, they kind of recap the beatdown from Roman Reigns on the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic. And you can clearly tell, if it wasn't already evident on SmackDown, they are building the Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio at Hell in the Cell, which I love. I think that's great. It's a fresh match. It gets Rey in a prominent spot again, if only for one pay-per-view. It makes sense. I think it's great. Rey's not going to win, but it should be a fun match. And if anyone can get a competent match out of Rey in a singles capacity in 2021, it would be Roman Reigns in the current character he has. I think he's a great foil for a guy like Roman Reigns, so I like that a lot. And Heyman gets really emotional, like his eyes are all red and he sheds a tear while he's talking about how, Rey, if, I'm a father, if someone came for my kid, I would want revenge, but Rey, you shouldn't. You shouldn't come looking for revenge against Roman Reigns. It's going to be a mistake. Roman Reigns will end Dominic's career, and you should just walk away instead. And again, he was great. He never broke away from the camera. He could barely even blink. I thought this was awesome from Paul Heyman. And again, it made it very clear they were building the Roman versus Rey. Not just Roman versus the Mysterios or a six-man with Roman and the Usos versus the Mysterios and someone else. No, it is a straight-up Roman and Rey Mysterio match, which I think is awesome. So, great episode this week. Kevin Owens was great. The Heyman spiel at the end was very well done. Even the birthday bit was hilarious, and the Profits were good too. So, very good stuff this week from Talking Smack for June 5th, 2021. Thank you guys for checking out this review. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe for more daily content by hitting that bell button down below and being notified every time a new video goes up. Check out more Talking Smack audio reviews down below in the description box, and stay tuned on Monday for a complete preview of the upcoming Loki show on Disney Plus with myself, Chris, and Phil. As always, we've broken down the WandaVision show, Mandalorian Season 2, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're back on Monday previewing the all-new series Loki on Disney Plus premiering on Wednesday. So be sure to check out that preview when it goes live here on the channel on Monday. Have an awesome one, guys. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll catch your ass down the road.